Mike McCool here in the Royal Examiner Studio, and with me today, I don't know how to introduce this group. We're going to call it the Juneteenth Committee, right?
Juneteenth Celebration.
Celebration, there you go. Gene Kilby's here with us. We're going to let Gene introduce everyone.
First, I'd like to introduce Suetta Freeman, who is my co-chair for the revitalization of the NAACP. Of course, my name is Gene Kilby. We have David Rushton, who is on the Juneteenth Celebration Committee. He's in charge of the vendors. And we have Rebecca Altizer, who's also
not even close. Altizer.
Altizer, excuse me.
That's why I didn't introduce it, because I knew I would say it wrong.
Altizer. Excuse me, but Rebecca is doing a little bit of everything on the committee. She's making sure that we have T-shirts, we have hats, and also she's doing fundraising for us.
Yeah. T-shirts turned out great, didn't they?
They
Rebecca?
did. Thank you,
Who
Mike.
did those for you?
Mike McCool did that for
National
me.
Media.
And
National Media, Inc.
It took a lot of back and forth.
She knows what she wants, and that's, so we got to give you what
And
you
he
want.
knows how to do it. So
We did a
it
great
was a
job.
good team.
Yeah.
So, this is the NAACP is putting on the Juneteenth celebration. This will be the first annual.
First annual.
All right. We did a little something last year, didn't we?
Not here.
No, for Juneteenth. Okay.
No,
I
it's
wrote
a
an article
national
about it in the paper, so I know that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a national holiday,
It is.
and the town closes down all of its offices. And Suetta and I, we are working hard to revitalize the NAACP.
Yes.
So we were talking, and Suetta said, all of the other counties are having a Juneteenth celebration.
Okay.
So I looked at her, and she looked at me, and we said, we're going to do this. So here we are.
Well, you got a whole long list, and by the way, this is going to be happening Wednesday, June 19th. That's a
The
good
actual day.
The actual day from 12 o'clock noon to 7 p.m. at the gazebo area. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a bit about what we're going to expect there?
Well, we want to have a wonderful program where everyone in the community can come out and celebrate with us. We're going to have vendors. We're going to have guest speakers. One guy is going to be doing Martin Luther King's speech. He's a very good speaker. We're going to have praise dancers, poetry, gospel music on the first part, and we're going to have a band on the second part of the day. We're going to have a hair show.
Hair and fashion.
Yeah, hair and fashion show. And we just want to have fun that day.
What are they going to do with you on that hair show? Are they going to put hair on your head?
Well, I think my sister says that I set a trend way back in 1995 when I decided to bald my head.
You could volunteer for the hair show, too.
Yeah, I'm right behind Gene here.
He certainly could.
Yeah, I just got tired of paying for half a haircut.
Yeah. I know how it is.
Yeah. And it's a great committee. Everyone has been working really hard.
They've been working really hard on that. Well, I think it's a great thing to do. It's difficult putting on these kind of things. As you well know, all these little things come up that people will cancel at the last minute, or the band doesn't show up, or
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah.
No, but Jim knows how to take care of those people. We won't have any trouble. What kind of food we going to have? We got to have food.
Okay, you want to talk about the food, Dave?
There's going to be the Kona shaved ice. There's going to be a coffee truck. We should have hot dogs, a hot dog vendor, and then general all around. Rick's Jerk truck is going to be there, having barbecue
Jamaican.
and Jamaican food.
That's good. I like that stuff.
So we're potentially looking for another food vendor or two also.
All right.
Yeah, a fish dinners.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, we're going to have fish dinners, so it's going to be quite a bit. And as Dave has mentioned, hopefully we'll get a few more before the end of the month.
Yeah, that's great. And normally the vendors aren't too busy on a Wednesday. So, they're always tied up on weekends normally. So that'll be good. We should have a little more activity.
Absolutely. I wish we had brought the shirts up here because
yeah.
so that Rebecca could show off her work.
She did good. We went through a lot of designs, and we finally looked for the one that just says what you want it to say.
Right.
It was good.
We're going to have wonderful T-shirts for sale, and also hats that have the Juneteenth, some kind of Juneteenth slogan on them.
Right.
And we're going to have note cards. And we still have lots of room for vendors to come and set up. So do we have a number that people can call to...
Yes.
Yes.
They can
We'll put all
contact
that
me.
information in the
Yes,
story.
right here, Gene Kilby. My
Okay.
phone's been jumping off the hook. I'm getting vendors, people that want to participate every day.
That's good. Well, we're going to put all the information again at the bottom of the story, who you can get hold of, hold
Super.
of Gene.
Okay.
And list all the great things that are going on. I'll get a complete list from you, and we'll put all that stuff, and then we'll get this story up, and we'll start promoting, because, it'll be here before you know
It
it.
is
Yeah,
coming
we're looking
fast.
forward
Just
to
a
it.
couple weeks
Yes,
away.
right. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Suetta, you want to talk a little bit about what Juneteenth means?
Yes, that'd be a good idea.
Okay, well, Juneteenth is the Freedom Day. When Abraham Lincoln had freed the slaves, Texas was the last state because they didn't know.
Right.
And so then that's when Juneteenth came about to celebrate that, because that was actually the day of freedom. And then this week I found something very interesting, that this school teacher walked from her hometown to the White House. Her name was Opal Lee. She was a retired school teacher, and I think she was like 79 or 89 years old. And she walked so that she could get this as a national holiday. And so I thought that was an interesting point, because a lot of people didn't know about Juneteenth.
Right.
And we tried to get Juneteenth a couple years ago here in Front Royal, and the NAACP had changed hands at that time, and the idea was actually knocked down. So Gene talked about it, and I talked about it, and I agreed. And because, like I said, we know that there's a need for the NAACP. Everybody really needs to work together, because trying times are here now. And so I'm glad we got the Juneteenth coming. I'm going to have homemade cakes.
Well,
Just little ones.
but they're going up on bid. They're not for sale. We're bidding on those things, right?
Oh, no, well, they only let, people like to, we've been to many sales, and people like to have something that they can eat in their hand.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm just going to make a couple of different kinds of little cakes, and maybe
Cupcakes
some-
type things.
Yeah, not cupcakes. Mine are square. Mine are
Oh, well,
little
square
cakes. Yeah. So we're gonna have a few things, and then I make jewelry. So I design jewelry. So I am gonna have my jewelry in there. If
Very
it
good.
sells, fine. If it doesn't, it's still fine.
That's
it's
okay.
a hobby.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a hobby. So we want to have different. We want to have something that's different.
That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Gene, let's touch base real quick on the NAACP, because it's come up and down over the years, and your branch is Page County and Warren County.
Yeah, Warren Page.
Warren Page.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of work driving an organization. But a little bit about the NAACP. I think people don't really realize what NAACP, what they do in our community.
Well, the NAACP basically are advocates for civil rights. We just want to make sure that all people are treated equally.
Right, and I think the word
within
there
the
is all
community.
people.
Yeah,
'Cause
all
I think
people.
some people think, oh, it's just for black people.
No,
That's
it's
No,
not.
no, it's not.
No, it's for all.
And that's the thing about Juneteenth too. Some people think it's just for black people, but it actually was the end of the Civil War. The end of the Civil War, where the United States claimed victory over insurrectionists. So it's a day for everyone to celebrate, because that was some terrible times in our history,
Yeah,
and we need to celebrate it.
yeah.
And as a community, we need to come together and walk this walk together instead of a lot of the division that exists today. The NAACP had gone down to under 30 members, And we said, we have to do better in this community. So now we have a membership of over 75,
It's good.
and we're growing every day. It's a lot of people that want to participate because they know that there's a need for us to come together in this community and across the United States.
Sure.
It was just a terrible situation. I didn't want to talk about this, that Shenandoah County once wanted to go backwards, and we just want to move forward.
Yeah.
You know, put all of that negative negative things behind us.
That's what we need to do. Just move forward.
Just
You know,
move forward.
We have history. Okay, we can accept history. Let's just move on. We don't
Right.
need to change history. You know, I think there's a lot of that trying to go on.
Right.
What we learn from, I tell people, we learn from mistakes. We don't learn from successes. And so when there's mistakes, that's how we learn.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
hopefully we've learned something. Except I watched Star Trek, and they're saying in the 24th century they still haven't cured bald people yet. Picard's bald in the 24th century, so that's the only thing that hasn't really been improved.
Yeah. Well, you know, Mike, I think everything's curable if you have enough money to do it.
Well, I wanted to again thank you for doing this. It's a great work. Hopefully, we'll keep the stories out there. We'll keep the promotions going, and we'll make this thing a great success.
Right.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
think we touched on the fact that when the Emancipation Proclamation was passed, people in Texas didn't know. So for 2 years after Lincoln freed the slaves, people were still in slavery in Texas.
That's right.
And when the Army, I mean, you know this better than I do, Suetta, but when the Army went in and told them you're free, they couldn't believe it. They
Right.
had been slaves for 2
years.
additional years. And so that's the main thing behind
The Juneteenth.
the Juneteenth celebration.
Yep. And we just say for the community, Juneteenth community celebration. Everyone is welcome.
That's a great idea. I want to thank everyone for coming, telling us about this. We'll promote it. We'll put all the information here below the story, and we'll put Jean's number there. So if you want to participate in some way as a vendor or just need a little more information, give Jean a call. All right. Thanks again. Appreciate it.
Okay,
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you.